What's up, Willowbrook? Have you ever been in a situation where you feel like God has promised you something or called you to do something in the future and you get really excited about it, but it just seems like it never happens? It seems like everything else keeps happening but that one thing. Well, if you feel like that, or if you have felt like that before, I just want you to know, first of all, that you're not alone. I've experienced that, and many other Christians have experienced that as well. But did you know that the Apostle Paul also experienced that? If you remember back in Acts 23, God tells Paul that he's going to witness and testify for God in Jerusalem and in Rome. So immediately Paul knows God is going to take me to Rome. Well, when Paul is transferred out of Jerusalem, where does he go? Not Rome. He's taken to Caesarea. And he's not there for a few days or even a few weeks, but he's there for 2 years as a prisoner. And then finally, when he's able to leave Caesarea on the way to Rome, he gets in a shipwreck. And where does he end up? Not in Rome, but on the island of Malta. And that's where we find ourselves today in our passage, Acts 28, 7 through 15. And one thing I love about this is we see that Paul doesn't view these detours as deterrents, keeping him from God's plan. No, Paul sees these detours as part of the path to get to the destination. So Paul takes advantage of every opportunity he has. And when he finds out that the official of Malta has a sick father, Paul prays for the father and the man is healed. Well, then they bring all the sick people on the island to Paul and they're healed as well. Now, the scriptures don't say that Paul preached the gospel or that anyone was saved, but if we know Paul, I feel pretty confident that he preached the gospel and maybe there were some people that came to know Jesus because of what Paul did. So I think if we find ourselves in a season where we're just waiting for God's promises to come to fulfillment, we could look at the life of Paul and we could say Paul took advantage of every opportunity and we should do the same. So maybe you find yourself in that season right now. Let me just encourage you to follow the example of Paul. God has not forgotten about you. God doesn't have you where you are right now on accident. The detour is not a deterrent from God's plan. The detour leads you to the destination. God is faithful. He hasn't forgotten about you. Follow where he leads. I pray that God blesses you and that you have an amazing day.